There's a quote that says, "It's not where you start that matters, it's where you decide to finish." And this is the story of a man who started at the bottom, literally pushing a mop across a cold factory floor, but ended up building a life most people only dream about. This is the story of the janitor who became a millionaire. His name was Samuel. Born in a small town, raised in a one-room home with 5 siblings, and a mother who worked herself sick just to put food on the table. There were no luxuries, no silver spoons, just struggle. While other kids dreamed of becoming doctors, pilots, or engineers, Samuel's dream was simple: to give his family a better life. After high school, he couldn't afford college, so he took the only job he could find: janitor at a local manufacturing plant. Every day he woke up before dawn, tied his worn-out shoes, grabbed his mop, and cleaned floors no one cared to notice. People laughed at him. They said, "You'll never be more than this." Some even mocked him, saying, "You're just a janitor. What can you ever become?" And maybe they were right, if he had believed them. But he didn't. Samuel made a decision that would change his life forever. He decided that while others saw him as just a janitor, he would see himself as a student. While others were working for a paycheck, he would be working for lessons. Every night after work, while others went home to watch TV or complain about their jobs, Samuel stayed behind. He watched the engineers, the supervisors, and the factory managers. He asked questions. He listened. He learned. When everyone else saw floors to clean, he saw opportunities to observe. He noticed how machines worked, how production flowed, and how management made decisions. He started reading business books borrowed from the public library. Day by day, the janitor's mind began to grow richer, even though his pockets were still empty. One night, after everyone had gone home, Samuel overheard 2 managers talking. They were discussing how the company was losing money due to wasted materials. Samuel had seen it for months: piles of leftover parts, inefficiencies in cleaning, and errors no one noticed. So he decided to do something most people in his position would never dare to do. He wrote a letter. In that letter, he explained a simple idea to reduce waste and improve cleaning efficiency, a plan that could save the company thousands every month. He didn't expect anyone to read it, but they did. A week later, Samuel was called into the manager's office. He was nervous, thinking he might get fired for overstepping his role. Instead, the manager said, "Samuel, your idea worked. We tested it, and it saved us over $12,000 this month. How did you even come up with that?" Samuel smiled and said, "I just paid attention." They promoted him from janitor to maintenance supervisor. For the first time in his life, he had an office, a desk, and a voice that mattered. But Samuel wasn't satisfied. He didn't want to stop climbing. He spent the next few years learning everything he could about operations, logistics, and management. He enrolled in night classes and studied business management, paying for tuition with his small savings. He learned to lead people, not just manage tasks. He learned to see potential in problems. Soon, he became the plant's operations manager, the same plant where he once mopped the floors. And yet Samuel still cleaned his own desk every morning, a silent reminder of where he started. Years later, the company faced a major challenge. They were losing clients and struggling to modernize. Samuel came up with an idea to automate part of the production process using local materials and innovative workflow design. It was risky. No one believed it would work. But Samuel invested his own savings and his own time to prove it could. It worked. It didn't just save the company money. It tripled their output. Soon, Samuel became a partner in the company. He wasn't a janitor anymore. He was a visionary. After 2 decades of learning, saving, and growing, Samuel made another bold move. He started his own company. He began small, just a few employees, rented space, and old equipment. But his reputation, work ethic, and heart attracted the right people. He treated his workers differently, with respect. He didn't just see them as employees, he saw them as partners in growth. And slowly, that small business grew. Then, it expanded. Then it multiplied. By the time Samuel was 50, he had built a company worth millions. He employed hundreds of people, including janitors, just like he once was. But what made him special wasn't the money. It was his humility. He never forgot where he came from. He often said to young workers, "I started with a mop in my hand and a dream in my heart. The mop didn't define me, my mindset did." So, what can we learn from Samuel's journey? It's simple. Your job title doesn't determine your future. Your mindset does. It's not about where you are right now. It's about what you're becoming. Every small effort, every extra hour, every humble beginning is a seed that can grow into something powerful. If you keep showing up, learning, and working harder than anyone else, one day, the world will have no choice but to notice. Too many people say, "I'm stuck. I don't have connections. I don't have money. I don't have luck." But what if you stopped looking at what you don't have and started focusing on what you do have? You have time. You have the ability to learn. You have the power to start small. Most importantly, you have the choice to stop making excuses. Remember this: excuses are the language of mediocrity. Action is the language of success. Samuel could have made excuses. He could have said, "I'm just a janitor." But instead he said, "I'll start where I am and grow from there." The truth is, every great success story starts small. Every millionaire once had a moment of doubt. Every leader once swept the floor of someone else's dream. But the difference is, they didn't stop. They didn't let their current situation define their future destination. Your struggle is your training. Your hardship is your classroom. Your pain is your preparation. Years later, Samuel was interviewed on national television. The reporter asked, "What's the secret to your success?" He smiled and said, "The secret? I never let pride get in the way of progress. I never stopped learning, and I never thought cleaning floors was beneath me, because that floor taught me how to rise." That's the heart of it. Your beginnings don't disqualify you. They prepare you. You might be a janitor today. You might be broke. You might be laughed at, ignored, and underestimated. But if you stay humble, if you work harder than anyone else, if you keep learning when others are quitting, you can rewrite your story. You can rise from the bottom floor to the corner office. You can build something from nothing. You can change your entire life, not overnight, but over time. Because success isn't built in comfort. It's built in consistency. So the next time life hands you a mop, a broom, or a job you think is beneath you, don't complain. Use it. Learn from it. Grow through it. One day, that very experience might become the foundation of your greatest achievement. And when that day comes, people will look at you and say, "You're lucky." But you'll know the truth. It wasn't luck. It was faith, hard work, humility, and vision. Remember Samuel, the janitor who became a millionaire. He wasn't born different. He just decided to see value where others saw nothing. So wherever you are right now, start there. Clean your floor. Learn your lessons. Build your dream. Because greatness doesn't care about your title. It only cares about your effort. No excuses, no shortcuts, no limits, just faith, just work, just results. If this story inspired you, share it. Someone out there needs to be reminded that their current struggle is not their final chapter. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Because one day, you might just be the next janitor who became a millionaire.